guys, it's been a while since I've done a kitchen class, and I decided not to do this over Facebook Live because I figured it'd be easier to help a lot of people with this video. So the reason I'm taping this is I was going to be doing an elderberry syrup class live and in person. I do a couple of those a year, and due to 2020, it's better off that I'm just going to show you how to make it. So I'm going to show you how easy it is to make elderberry syrup in your home. I'm going to be doing it in my Instant Pot. It's very simple. You can also do it on the stove. I will put some links in here on how to do that so you can do it at home. Ingredients are important though, so we're going to talk about why and what to use. So if you are not familiar with elderberry syrup, you may have seen one called Sambucol, not Sambuca, but it's Sambucol. It's usually a purpley syrup, and there might be some supplements like that that you can find in your drugstores or health food stores, and it's generally very expensive. Sometimes you'll find a really good one. Sometimes you'll find one that's just full of sugar and other things that you just don't really want in you. And like all supplements you find in health food stores, well, not so much in the health food stores, but definitely in some of these Walgreens types or Targets, nobody's really controlling what's in there. That's true of all supplements. You have to have a company that's good at self-auditing and that you can trust. So I would just really recommend that you make your own if you can, or use a company that you can completely and fully trust. So, okay, what is elderberry syrup? What's it for? Well, it's from a tree. The elderberries are from a tree, the Sambuca tree, and it was native to Europe. So this is actually something that has been used for thousands of years in wellness. And within the last 10-15 years, it's gotten a lot more popular here in today's day and age as well. But in folk medicine from way back, the dried elderberries, these are dried elderberries that we're going to be using in this class. They look like this. Looks like tiny little marbles, or tiny little pebbles is what they look like. But dried elderberries is the way to go. So I'm sure there's uses for fresh elderberries, but it's best to use the dried elderberries when you're using this recipe. So think of like a hard, crunchy raisin, so to speak. But in folk medicine, it was used to treat all kinds of things, from the flu to headaches, to joint pain and stiffness, you name it, just a lot of things, even nerve pain. What it's very popular for though today is for strengthening your immune system. Elderberries they're full of antioxidants. And a good way to explain it is elderberries sort of scrub out the blood. That's what antioxidants do. They go in and they pull the free radicals from your body. And free radicals are just like any other radical. They're generally up to no good. Maybe there's some kind of good radical activism, but for the most part, people don't want a radical around, right? The same thing in your bloodstream, you want to pull that out. So people have noticed that when you take it daily, and I've been doing this for 2 years now, when you take it daily, most likely you will have a much stronger immune system. Now, I've been doing this for a while. I've been giving it to my family, and last year I started giving it to people before the cooties of 2020 hit. Some people were experiencing some issues, and they reported back that this really helped them get over things faster. So I'm not a doctor, I'm not a nurse, I'm just using history here. And there's a lot of really good articles that you can look up about that. Dr. Lindsay Elmore, who is a pharmacist that loves natural therapies, she's got a great article on it. I will try and make those available for you as well. So this is basically why people take it. When you take it, you take about a tablespoon a day if you're an adult, and if you're not feeling well, you take a little more. And children take about half of that as long as they're able to take raw honey, which is in this recipe. So I'm going to show you quick how to do it. It's just so simple, there's really no excuse not to do it. And you can do it on the stove, or you can do it in the Instant Pot. So ingredients, like I said, are the important part. So I like to use organic elderberries, and this is from Frontier Co-op. One thing I have found that the sooner you get this, prior to fall and winter, the less expensive they'll be. So they can be anywhere from 25 bucks for a bag of this all the way on up to 40, but you will be able to make about 3 batches, I believe, of my recipe that you'll be able to make out of this. So you're going to use your elderberries, and you need 1.5 cups. So for my recipe, there's some other recipes out there, but this is the one that I find works the best for us. So what was that? That was a cup. This is 3/4 of a cup. Whoops. So I'm going to make it just under the 3/4 mark. So that's 1.5 cups of the berries. Then you're going to add some purified or distilled water. I like to use purified or distilled or filtered water because city water has a lot of stuff in it. It can have bleach. I know in Florida, I'm not in Florida, I'm in Illinois, but when I go to Florida, I notice that water smells a lot like bleach. So it can have a lot of bleach in it, can have a lot of fluorides and some other things in it. So the purer the water, the better, because you want to put good stuff in you. So here's 4 cups. The recipe does call for 6. I have 4 pre-measured for the video here. And we'll add a couple more cups. All right, 6 cups of water. And then you cook. The rest of the ingredients are going to go in later. So we're going to start this up, and then I'll come back later for how to make the rest of this and why. So in the Instant Pot, I'm going to make sure it's sealed. And it's just so easy. You're gonna set it, I have the any pressure cooker, but I like the Instant Pot. And I'm gonna set it for, I believe it's 7 minutes. Yeah, so 7 minutes. Okay, and it's gonna start. Now, if you were in my home for this class, we would then go on to talk about other things. I wouldn't make you wait for the whole thing. So I'll just come back to it in a little bit. But this is gonna start, it's gonna come up to pressure. So that takes 5 to 7 minutes on its own. And then it'll take 7 minutes to pressurize, and I'll release it, and then I will go and do the rest of this class. Now, if you're doing it stovetop, you're just gonna put all those things in a pan, you're gonna bring it to boil, and you're gonna simmer it down. Now you can simmer it down to as condensed of a syrup as you would like. You can, if you do it about 45 minutes, you're gonna have a much thicker, stronger syrup. I have found on the Instant Pot, it's not as thick and it's not as strong. So I will show you a method later that you can do to make it thicker. I have found though that my thinner syrups have protected me and my family well, or helped build up that immune system. It's been beneficial to the people in my life that I've given it to. So, and it tastes a little better, but some people like a thicker, stronger syrup. It's up to you. It's up to your preference. But if you're cooking it on the stove, you'll bring it to a boil, and you'll boil about 20-25 minutes, all the way up to 45 minutes, depending on how evaporated down you want. This is going to be on 7 minutes, and I will show you when it's done cooking what to do next. So